Julian Lopetegui hasn't even been announced yet, and we're signing players. Julian Lopetegui hasn't even been announced as the manager of West Ham United, but it appears that the club are pressing ahead with securing players ahead of the opening of the summer transfer window. Now, we all know what's been happening over the past couple of days. West Ham are releasing coaches. The head of recruitment, Rob Newman, has left after having some formal ties in Brazil, but Tim Steidten has been instrumental in the past couple of weeks, and in actual fact, this season. He got the likes of Mo Kudus, Edson Alvarez back in the summer, albeit West Ham went into the opening game of the last season with the only club that hadn't signed anyone. But he didn't want that situation to happen twice. He didn't want lightning to strike twice within West Ham. And apparently West Ham have changed their whole policy, which is bring players in early. And that is what's needed. That's what we've been calling for. Give them time to bed in. Now, according to several reporters, including Fabricio Romano, ex-WHU employee, you name it, Tim Steidten is involved with trying to bring the Brazilian international centre-back to London. The 28-year-old, yes, he is 28, is around about 6'3". Some reports are saying he's 6'4". I'm seeing around about 6'3", 6'4", give or take an inch. Said that he is a very speedy defender who is good in one-on-one situations and is very combative as well. Now, obviously, we have issues in our defense. Obviously, we do. We've got issues with Kurt Zuma. Do we know if he's fit or not? We've got issues potentially with the likes of Naif Agerd. Will he stay or will he go or will he be leaving the club? Who knows? Who knows what happens with there? But we do know we need to rebuild quite a lot of the team, and this could be a start. I mean, some places are reporting anywhere of around about the £5 million marker for the player. Now, the Brazilian Serie A season is only 6 games into the season, so his stats don't read fantastic, but not really many players do read fantastic. There's not a lot of really to go by. However, he has kept up a 91% pass accuracy while winning 81% of his duels, showcasing his ability on the ball and being defensively solid as well. Like I said, he's 28 years old, and he wouldn't, if signing for the club, West Ham would have to wait to bring him in because apparently any deal taking place would mean that he wouldn't become a West Ham player until he's finished competing for Flamengo in a Copa do Brazil and the Copa Libertadores. So he's got competitions he needs to feature in. So if that is something that West Ham are going to get over the line, then so be it. And apparently on the table is a 5-year deal. We don't talk about Bruno, no. And the concern here talking about this player is that, when you start to hear this news about West Ham potentially offering this player a contract, and there's maybe a bit of time for him to decide whether or not he's going to come to the club, nothing is dead set until that is on the dotted line, and he is, of course, playing for a club. So we'll have to wait and see when this does get announced. But what we do know on Fabricio, he can't help but want to say Romano, even though it's not Romano, that he excels in his defensive duels, both on the ground and in the air. He's got an imposing height as well, which allows him to dominate those aerial challenges, making him a really big presence for the set pieces for defending and for going forward in those defensive transitions. He does intercept passes quite well. He breaks up the opposition attacks. This is all reports coming out from Brazil. I don't know the player individually, but he does rely a lot on his physicality. But with his physicality comes pace and speed, and it looks like that's what Julian Lopetegui is going to be working with as well. He does have some form of discipline, but he's also known as a bit of a destroyer, so he seems to be really physical and tends to get away with that as such in his game. So this will be interesting because it will kind of be or will be an unknown to the West Ham world. But if he does come in and he's our first summer signing officially from Tim Steidten for the new era that comes on, then we will wish him all the best. But keep your eye on the channel. We'll keep you updated in about half an hour or so, or 10:30 tonight. You'll see the old school hammers out with the old, in with the new. Make sure you join Budgie and Kieran for that. Take it easy. And of course, come on.